Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LCK Spring 2025.
Relates to so many other things. You can turn it into basically anything. It goes with anything. And I think catch-up is close, but not quite there.
Well, Rich is going to get caught out here. She was already taking a fair bit of damage, but now Lucid getting his claws into the Rumble. Let's see whether he can take someone with him. As even a grass proc going down, a Showmaker goes in, and the Dragon actually is what helps end this Rumble. So first blood going over to DK, and I'm going to avoid this mayonnaise ketchup conversation for as long as I possibly can. Oh! The flash charm from Showmaker is going to help as, oh dear! That's not the part of the wall that UCal wanted to head towards, as the Impale was good. Lucid able to pick him off as there goes the Aurora. Sponge not quite there. Represented by Peanut.
Yeah.
And then a whole lot of, like, you know, it's like there's a lot of spicy flavor with the cloves and stuff like that. It's Sponge gonna have to go untargetable. Doesn't get crashed into by Lucid here. Still not exactly a fight that DRX are looking to win at this point with the man advantage DK have. Never mind, the Magnet Storm flies through and Lucid, he gets a little bit of an Impale, but then he just goes down. Sponge has to flash, but will stay alive. Now the top laners are making their way in. The Jace gets there first as Pleta gets booped away immediately. She desperately trying to find an angle to take down the doggo, but it's not going to work as he has to walk the red carpet to get out. And Rich with a beautifully placed equalizer should be enough to take him down. That flash was optimistic at best, and DRX, they even grab feats of warfare off the back of that play.
Then you need to eat. We need to get you some better salsas. I feel like good fresh salsa.
My mom,
fresh, right?
My mom actually makes tomato relish, and I get her to send it to me whenever I run out.
This is what. Okay, now I get why you go for relish. No.
And what happens when they just stay even forever? Do both teams suffer? As all right, Beryl going to get engaged on here. Remember, he's just an eco, and he's just dead. This is, I'm not seeing the
hallmarks of a great DRX game. We're seeing Sponge not behind. UCal popping off. And Teddy, he has actual.
Oh, we're going to do the cope tech thing?
Yeah.
Well, Chiu is going to do the walk off the ultimate thing. That might work out here as he does boot back Sponge, but back in he goes. Chiu's going to flash. This time, he gets healed up as Beryl comes in. And we'll be able to at least keep them at bay. Let's see whether Beryl survives as he holds the minion wave for as long as he can. The rest of DRX moving towards the mid lane as a teleport does come in. Sponge taking a bit of damage as the daggers are coming on through as Lucid's driving on forward. Flash over from Rich. That was pretty sexy as here's a Magnet Storm. Showmaker trying to get out of here, and he should be able to do so with the Spirit Rush, but does have to invest it. Flash forward from UCal was optimistic at best. Sometimes you just want to keep that button on cooldown, Chronicler. That's how it works, as Rich is the one that takes the Gromp for some reason. Oh god, this series is this series. Okay, there's the Impale, and down goes the Doggo. You cannot untargetable that one, as Aiming comes on through and grabs his first of the game.
Exactly what we talked about. Hot, but a little bit slowed down since as he's looking for more.
Yeah, picks up a rock. Let's see whether Teddy's going to be okay here as Arcane Shift already on cooldown. The Pop Blossom, the full commit, and down goes the bottom lane. Gorgeously played here by DK. Oh, is that just Artican as well?
Yeah, just a moment of...
Oh, Jace.
It does feel like DK after that play towards topside said, okay guys, we gotta pull back a little bit and respect a bit more. Have seemed like they've given less of just birds.
Yeah. That's how deep into the I want to talk about something else. Pop Blossom under 3 is gorgeous here, is right out of nowhere. They save us from the monotony. Beryl. Oh, he did not want to hear about the fact that his team was a monotream. All he wanted was to knock them all up into the sky and take a hoodie that he loves.
He has big on binoculars as well. Oh yeah. Chiu, he doesn't have flash.
Yeah, he's walking down that red carpet once again, and there is a doggo behind him. And so that is going to be a dead Jace. Great pick here from DRX, and an overextension here from the young top laner. Yeah, just walloping one another the entirety of this game. As Aiming has a Banshee's Veil. is an odd choice, but going to keep him relatively safe. All right, here's the Magnet Storm. Doesn't find Beryl. Has now aiming, able to free hit towards his backline. Pled it down already. The Impale connecting onto one as there's a Pop Blossom onto two. Yukal trying to get out, aiming with the Killer Instinct and able to rain down a Cathianly to take down the Aurora. Sponge still looking for more as Teddy feels like he has an angle, and Sponge goes in, goes out again and smacked into the wall, but there's the equalizer, and we know that is so deadly. Here from Rich as Shiu dives forward, but I don't know about it. 1 versus 3 here as Beryl and aiming are coming down. Teddy looking for some options, doesn't quite get anything, and they will back away. Teleport in from
Keep him alive for a longer time. Aiming has to Investial to actually kill him. And then here, clearly they have different ideas about what to do. As Lucid goes back in, yeah, I think the fact that it was just Showmaker that was out on the map, plus the fact that he's was just about to buy a death cap means that this is going to be soul point for DRX.
All right.
DRX. I don't know if you should actually commit. Shiu's TP timing is still a little bit up, but it is close as Beryl.
Oh dear, True Shot Barrage not going to connect onto the right one as now Yukal looking to take down the Nico, and Beryl is able to actually get out of the way, baits them all into committing towards him so they get an outer turret in mid. On the table in 40 seconds time.
Sponge, he's baiting.
Yeah, doesn't have his flash, remember. As Beryl off to the side, Pop Blossom in hand, True Shot Barrage. Not going to be enough to take down the crab. That is secured here by Lucid.
Let's get the smite. Don't forget 20 seconds, possible angle. DRX can choose to get this this dragon up and just all in on Nash.
Yep. Oh man,
I
don't know about that one. I mean, Chemtech is.
But they don't get anything.
Yeah, so they get position on Baron.
Yeah.
And the smite is also roaming up, as we can see. So the dragon goes over. There's Chemtech Soul.
Oh, DK.
That's not what you want to see.
Double TP. Look, they're backing. If they get double TP, like, it's still not worth, but at least it's something. There's one. Second one invested.
Yeah, target ability out here from Sponge, but he can eat some honey fruit. He's going to be okay. Are they just going to YOLO it? I think maybe just go for it here. Do something. DK, that might be the opportunity as Pletter is down relatively low. They're keeping it leashed as best they can. Shiu off to the side as in goes Yukal. Pletter going to be taken out before he can really do too much, but Beryl also throws away another ulti. The jungler is dead on DK's side and Sponge is still here. The Baron is so extraordinarily low and it goes over to DRX. DK are throwing it all away as they lose the soul. They lose the Baron. They haven't lost too many members, but this is still a disaster.
I think his turns onto Lucid specifically, KDA might not look too impressive, but it's that in tandem with Rich's toasting in the fights that I think are the big difference maker. But you know what, Atlas, I don't think this is enough.
So I don't trust them to be able to make the right decisions. Let's see whether this Showmaker flank is going to work, though, as the Charm and the Orbit Deception go wide. Pletter is likely to die, but does get the Magnet Storm off. Never mind, it was just a crash down still. Beryl is going to die too, and there goes Lucid. Sponge diving in. It's a huge shield here from aiming, but Sponge just bleeds him to death. Shiu and Showmaker will still have some damage. They take down Yukal, and Sponge is almost dead, but will just barely survive. 3-1.
A minute!
And DRX should just be able to close this one out, right?
I think they can. 25 seconds on Beryl. They're running up. That's Chemtech value, baby!
That's what we're talking about. Teddy going to join the rest of his team. And the first inhibitor is going to fall. Some honey fruit trying to be eaten here by Sponge as Showmaker is still, I mean, he was still healthy before. Now he is no longer.
This is going to be pretty tight. Beryl's up soon, but I don't think that alone is enough. I think they got it, Atlas!
Yeah, these Nexus turrets are falling like paper as Teddy looking for his options as Rich is here. And yeah, no one can get anywhere near the walking barbecue, and here they are going to be able to do it. Down goes the Nexus, and
I wouldn't hate the Bart. There's a lot of stationary targets on DK, but Pleta, he's playing for Prio here. I think that was the main. He was what, 40%.
But can't you just reset after that, you know? And
well, I could have, but then he like the real issue is that even if he does, yes, the absence
definitely
thing is also a definition. It's all Pleta.
Yeah, nice cocoon. What goes up must come down. Seismic Shove needs to be flashed there, but he flashes towards Yukal. Very nicely done. Shiu and Teddy fighting one another as the gravity field is fantastic. And another deadly flourish. Now the curtains are being called and down goes the Talia. Lucid, that permafrost is well and truly stacked up as Shiu's just trying to be a wall as he flashes in and manages to cut down He's overstepped. He's forced to flash away, and this Crocodile is so scary, but the public execution to try and lock him down. She gets another Q, but it's not quite enough. Finally, Pleta falls as Lucid gets a few autos off, flashes over.
He's running.
Find the knock-up. Let's see whether he can actually get out. He gets the movement speed. And he's going to be all right as Beryl,
Showmaker has
also
ult.
with the assistance of the Wind Becomes Lightning, might be able to make it out. Does he have a Q though? That's the question is, yep, in goes Showmaker, and the Ambessa should also be, never mind, it's Ambessa. When I said Ambessa, I knew she probably wasn't going to die. Great knock-up though, as Lucid will finally fall. Ucal makes his way in. The longest team fight at 7.5 minutes we have ever seen. But I think finally it has concluded.
I do know it.
Yeah, you know it's going to happen. You just
Don't know when.
prefer to be just
Prefer to be ignorant of it.
yeah,
You can
just
say
preferring to be ignorant. Yeah, it just sounded bad, you know.
No, it's you know when it comes to barrel teams how that feels. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm not too bothered. Oh, Showmaker.
Yep, he's going to flash one of the buttons. Does throw the piggy through the rocks. Is now Pleta in a little bit of trouble. Ucal as well. One more turret shot, and that would have been him going down. But they do just manage to walk their way out. Shiu and Rich fighting one another, as it is going to be a Cloud Soul this game. There's Terrell, and DK can grab themselves some upgraded shoes. That'll be a difference from the last game. Certainly important stuff, as Pleta is going to face check the Crocodile. There is the public execution, and down goes the Croc.
They really needed that to not happen, DK, because that is the strongest member, a Showmaker.
Oh, no. In goes Beryl, but he's going to be a little bit too late, as Showmaker is bathing in the Chaos Storm, and that is not what you want for a healthy future. Is that
I'm trying to see the line,
type thing? I don't know. As all right, Rift Herald, that will be feats of strength if DK can lock this one down, as now Beryl could be in trouble. Pleta gonna go up into the sky as the curtain has been called, aiming able to tank that one for his support, and there goes the feats of strength. Pleta over here as well, wanting to throw a cocoon at anyone is okay. Now DK, they're committing to it. We have to. This is the way. Hex Splash in. There's the bullet time as well. Sponge not going to be spiting this one. Never mind. He gets in with the Arctic Assault, and down goes the Ambessa. I don't know whether it was necessarily worth it, but it was a very cute fight. And Showmaker taxis in on the wall. He'll get the flash out from the Victor as well. Very, very important. And you mentioned the fact that the Crocodile was big. One thing we didn't mention was the gigantic lead that our Gold King had. And Pleta, that is not what Dan Orcs Harrison wanted to see. Oh no. Ucal now no flash, remember, and Beryl is going in. Another seismic shove, another death, and sometimes it is written, Chronicle.
And I swear,
capitalize on the cross map. Cross map has not been their strongest suit, but Elise has not been Pleta's strongest suit either, as aiming comes on in. That's a love tap. And I guess if at first you don't succeed, let's just go again. This time with a teleport towards the bottom side as well. So it's 1-for-1, as both turrets are going to be falling.
Crucially, they did not have Rich's ults on the first dive, which is why I think they didn't end up killing him. It was like 3-4 seconds off.
Oh.
Which is why, even when Sponge hit that ult, it wasn't enough, but then obviously they could just go for the redive without too much of an issue, even without Ucal there.
Aiming, you cheeky devil! The curtains need to be respected, as Showmaker is not going to flank of his own. Captive audience off to the side as Make It Rain just to hold them in position. And Lucid just dashes in and destroys Pleta! No repellent from that one, and now it's Shiu's turn. Great interruption there, but they get on top of Sponge still. Shiu is just dead. Oh, the Arctic Assault just too powerful there as the Eclipse trying to tank up the curtain call. And DK, it's a 1-for-1, but the Elise was doing almost less than 0. And so not having the Crocodile going to be important. He does have teleport. Sponge cannot throw his life away, but that is exactly what he's doing. And aiming finds the double up to get the last hit of damage. Lucid off to the side, but now he can get back towards the...
Shiu not having the best day. Unfortunately, as he just goes in and dies unceremoniously.
I mean, it was
3.5 of which is on one man, and one man only.
And Jhin is a utility champion. All right, Lucid going forward. There's another wall as Teddy running as best he can, but the Spider cannot do that. even though she has so many legs. Pleta having a rough time. And now Ruinous Archon going to get started here by the team with 3 dragons. Having a look here. Teddy versus aiming. I mean,
Beryl?
It's a lot of damage that Teddy's done. And in they go, actually. Rich looking for an angle. Beryl is alive. Gonna get missed by the ult, but does get hit by the curtains. The Archon is gonna have to be given up on, though. And welcome back, Dplus. You were missing. It was too clean before. That was really strange.
Was it?
And now DRX have put them back to where...
East out? But it's DK, so maybe they just flipped the game here. Could be Atlas, could be!
It could be all sorts of different things. Sponge going to take a little while to get on over here. There are no ultimates left on the side of DRX, and that might be why DK are happy to go for this one. Sponge almost in smite range as he can just Arctic Assault over. This is so dangerous. Knockup does come on through, but look at this health bar. It is secured, and now they get a gorgeous bullet time. The shove just to throw Pleta in there, and it's a Quadra already from aiming. The seismic shove brings it back, and Showmaker says, not today, aiming. We are not playing well enough to be getting pentakill.
He flashed for that!
That's my boy. That's my boy. That's why you love this team, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, I do think Teddy probably would have ran it off and not died. God, well,
and then it was stolen by Showmaker.
Well, this ensures the game free, and to the dismay of, I think, both DK and DRX. Giving his life for the Penta, I respect it.
Well, Sponge and Yukal now in an awkward position in this one. Shiu now just chasing them down. A scary Crocodile, but he's going to get CC'd. Still, Lucid now diving forward, Rich in the back line. Showmaker down to 50%, but the shove is gorgeous once again. And if at first you don't succeed aiming, try again, as it's another Quadra, and it's stolen again, this time by Lucid. But you can see aiming not quite able to get there. Look at that! Oh man, if they could turn on friendly fire, you know aiming would. He definitely
Look at Lucid's face! He knows what he did!
Oh my goodness.
Twice!
If this was Ruler would have like tried to pause the game or just left the stage.
He would have ran into the turret. That's
oh yeah.
How did this game go from an even mess to 2 denied
pentas and a 12,000 gold lead?
Oh!
A 5,500 Rebel Baron power play. And Lucid just gonna solo this Cloud Soul with Ruinous Archon buff. Let's have a look at it one more time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 몰라.
Good. Aiming just doesn't care at all.
Wait, next! We need to know!
빼. 아 이거 우리 라인 없어도 못 할 것 같은데. 사용 가자 사용. 아 진짜 오늘 사용 가자. 나 믿어볼게.
So they can win the game.
I don't see it, Atlas.
That's the strategy.
Atlas, I don't see the lines. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not.
Neither do I, but that's sometimes where the most courage comes from, as they all get knocked out of the solar flare, but still these wallets are so heavy. It is absurd. That is aiming getting 1 kill this time around, but there's already a double for Showmaker, and Shiu just chasing Teddy down. It's in fact a solo kill. Teddy just wasn't actually able to get in there whatsoever, and now this game is over. 24-9 is the kill score, a gigantic lead, and DK, I think, showing us a little bit more what their power level is supposed to be like here in the LCK.
And I have to see. My guess is that it would be the Pantheon jungle.
Yeah.
And not the support variety. And that's the most barrel thing I can possibly imagine.
Oh, that is absolutely perfect.
Lucid picked it, and they won that game, and it was very funny.
Oh my god, that's exactly what you want to see.
I know.
As Sponge looking for aiming in barrel here. Let's see where the barrel can find an angle. He just pushes the tree away. Is aiming going to be taken out? Teddy burning. Pleta, that's a very well charged turret, but he is still able to get himself out.
This is why Varus has been so high in the ban priority list, particularly with the Brom and lethal tempo. It's always going to be an uphill battle. So DK knew this. I think that to the inevitable shenanigans.
Okay, Showmaker down here, just looking for an angle as the ulti comes through, and there's the flash. Yukal nowhere to go, and it should be the answering kill here. Showmaker picks it up. Nice gank from Lucid as well, good position, but the evening out of the grubs is...
Rich is a little bit slower. Shield gets the crash, and then they actually have to give something up, but here If Shiwu TP's in, I don't think the fight's looking all too hot. So not gonna.
It does very much confuse me because when I grew up, we also said football, but that meant running around and bouncing the thing and then kicking it if you felt like it.
That's the sport.
Yeah, and having
Lucid.
Lucid goes in. I don't know about that one, as the knockups are pretty huge. Still aiming, trying to live up in this chaos and make something happen, and it just doesn't work. The flash gonna have to be used to get out of the way of UCal as the Emperor's Divide pushes Pletter under the turret. Rich alongside him, but he's pretty tanky. Now aiming is alone and getting closed in on by everyone. Snapped up by the Yone as in goes Shiu to grab the kill onto Rich, but the Zombie Scion is gonna lock down the Jax. He finally gets the counter-strike as UCal outplays him. Still, it's gonna be Showmaker able to lock down a kill onto the tree, and who won that fight?
Nobody knows, Atlas. You don't, I don't know if the team does. Well, it's not over yet, I guess. Lucid has ult! He's gonna ult in!
Oh god, is Beryl... Well, it's a 3 versus 3, but the puppy has baited them all in! UCal's able to get one of them with the help of Teddy, but now Lucid gets himself the stun. Showmaker able to lock down both of them. He didn't know, he couldn't decide, and instead they're gonna kill both. Thanks, Beryl.
Well, now I know who won!
Yep. I still don't know anything about football, but I know that was better legal.
How can they use it as a Showmaker? He does have a turret, but that's a lot of people. Double TP.
Yeah, Beryl's coming down. There is a grand starfall. And now Beryl finds himself in an awkward spot. Never mind. He turns it into a triple knockup. A huge engage as aiming comes over the wall. There is a kill onto the Azir for DRX. They get a couple. But now I think it's certification time for aiming on this Zeri. As DK, they go 3 for 2. But the more chaos there is, and the more aiming gets, the more
TP comes in. DRX, no, we can't contest this, unfortunately. It's just going to go over. Maybe a Rich going to try and, get a...
I mean, Lucid's here with Smite. So
well, yeah,
there's nothing Rich is going to be able to do. He just watches as the Voracious Otacon does go down.
I want to... Oh, no.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, no.
Hang
not
on.
the
Wait. But look at all of these Hex Gates that have been taken. As now Showmaker booking it towards UCal. He's just in position, so he can just wall him, and there it goes. Now it's a 2v2, and there is no damage here, represented by DRX.
Oh, DRX. This game is rapidly slipping away from them.
Yeah.
Both the...
It was a roar, then a groan, and this is feeling a little more like a whimper.
Yeah.
That felt sadder than it did in my head.
Well, no, I think my set, did a lot of...
Lucid going to be able to stun up Pletter here, is just trying to stand beside Teddy. Okay, they do find the Nature's Grasp, but in goes Showmaker. I don't know about it. As Sponge just trying to get them out of there. The heroic charge is going to come through as aiming. He is going to be recalled after grabbing himself a kill. Lucid with an afterthought murder of the tree. And DK will be able to take down this outer turret. They are double the kills of their opposition right now. It's about a 5,000 gold lead.
You're supposed to be just aiming?
I mean, it's probably... Okay, Beryl is going to go in. Maybe it's Beryl. Found another angle there. As, all right, Lucid looking to come in. Does dive on top of UCal. The Emperor's Divide's so good. I think it's Showmaker. I think it definitely is. I mean, the flash shove.
No, but I think with Ari, if you're invisible, you're not actively throwing.
Yeah.
But I think that champion has a really high... Like, you need to do stuff. Right? Is how I'd rate it. But Talia was really good, so maybe this just showing...
The biggest of which being the 3.2 thousand for the 3-item Azir. Which is rough, to say the least, as Shiu gonna have to flash to get out of the way of UCal's ult. Meanwhile, there is a fight on the other side of the map, and oh my god, the knockups are everywhere. Aiming takes down Teddy. Now the damage is missing from the fight, as Sponge gonna get dove on by the Pantheon. And as long as they fight around Showmaker, this is just kinda donezo. As at least DRX will be able to get themselves an outer turret, but they're unable to even take down Shiu, and look at how quickly this Baron's gonna go down. Aiming is just like missing the Merkwolf with a burst fire. That's all he really needs to do this game.
It was a beautiful dream for DRX, but even an Unbreakable Spirit can't stop them from looking at this game state and going, oh god.
Yeah.
What do we do? Look at the itemization. This is what I was talking about as well. And why I feel like...
Attack the teleport. That's what they were kind of doing. And unfortunately, it didn't work. This is it continuing to not work, by the way. As Rich is going to at least crash into them and then dash away as Nature's Grasp coming down. Let's see where the Barrel can find a couple of targets, and he does so. Then they pile in. Lucid also actually able to survive as the two-man shove comes through from Showmaker. Yeah, write it down. I probably put it on in there. He grabs a triple. It's almost a quadra, but Barrel is able to stomp down the tree, and DK feels like game one was a dream as they look to push through for the victory here. They're second on the week as they close it out. The only loss still being that pesky one to Genji. 10-1 and 10, Chronicler. This guy's Azir was pretty good.
Perchance, a little bit of lost game bias. You know, I want to kind of, we've been talking about it.
Recency bias is real for a reason.
I want to introduce